Yeah.
Okay, I'll join the group. So
I hear you. And I think this is a really, even just this point right here, you guys, I want you to take note. That's like, it's not an audible thing. And it's not that it's never an audible experience, but it's a prompting, it's an intuition, it's a gut feeling, it's an instinct. It's something is circling in your mind that is not your thought, but you want to own it as your thought, but you're rejecting it as your thought. And then there's the counterbalance of like the devil and the angel on your shoulder, right? It's actually very accurate. And so I think a lot of people are always like, well, how did you know? What led you to that, like to that experience? And so I just wanted to clarify for people listening that it's all of those things and more. And it's going to be different for you. It's going to be exactly what you need in order to push you into that next door. So keep going. So you decide to show up.
Yeah. Well, and to your point too, that's like, I mean, people have different spots with that. It's like, feeling like they should maybe go to church, but I don't know, they might judge me, or feeling like I should open up to a friend about this thing. And maybe, so there's a lot, but that prompting, to your point, is so big. So I emailed the person in charge. Is like, are there any groups still open? I missed I had I couldn't be there. And she said, there were 2 groups open. So I emailed the 2 groups, and one of them's like, come on, join in. And so I joined that group January of 2011. So I had been saved for like 6 months. And man, my faith really took off there. I really felt like a lot of discernment over scripture supernaturally, because I hadn't really read the Bible that much, but I really felt like, I know who God is and I know who he isn't. Like just from engaging with people in there and like hearing different things, I'm like, well, I don't know, that's not really what I'm feeling, and having good, healthy, not argumentative, but just healthy conversations about what's going on. And I did eventually have to tell my story in the group, and there was so much grace and all this. And it was one of the ways in which I experienced grace the first time tangibly. Now the life group leader, I joined a life group with no intention of pursuing a relationship. It was really, really seriously very selfish. It was about me and me growing in my faith. And this is the next step. And so I was in that group until like April. And then in April, I think early April, the life group leader, she went on a missions trip for 2 weeks. And she actually just told me this past year, which is really good, because if she would have told me this beforehand, I would have been a little scared. But she prayed fervently for 2 weeks that this guy in her life group would finally notice her. And that prayer worked.
Oh my gosh.
He came back from that trip, and I can tell you, like, I just looked at her and I was like, oh, there you are.